Hello, good morning, my dear children. So, I hope you had a very great summer break. Yes, so now we are back and we are on the third day for the second term. So, you all know that we have already completed the three chapters from your book. So, without much delay, we will now begin with the fourth chapter, and the name of the chapter is Reflection of Light at a Plane Surface. We are learning the reflection of what? Light. Where? On the plane surface. Okay, so in this chapter, okay, we are going to cover this topics. Number one is reflection of light. We'll understand what is reflection of light, or what do we mean by reflection of light. Then we will learn types of reflection. Okay, then we will learn laws of reflection. Then we'll see images, okay, which are formed by a plane mirror. You know what is a plane mirror? The mirror that you have at your home, okay, and looking on which you comb your hair and you dress yourself. That is what we call plane mirror. Then we'll learn about lateral inversion, an interesting phenomenon, okay, which you might which you have not I guess recognized until now. Okay, so we will learn about lateral inversion as well. Then we'll see the speed of light, how or what at what speed the light travels from one place to another, and we'll see spectral light and colors. This is a bit interesting topic that we are going to cover in this chapter number 4, that is reflection of light. All right, okay, so let's begin. Reflection of light. So as I say, okay, you underline whatever things I tell you, or note down or circle. Okay, those will be the important words or important terms which will be important for your test and exams. All right, so reflection of light. We know about mirrors. Mirrors are used in our homes, shops, okay, cars, etc. When you hold a plane mirror in sunlight, you get a patch of light on the wall opposite to the mirror. I guess you have done this, isn't it? Here you can see there is a girl who is lifting up a mirror, okay, and there is a boy with the cap here who's focusing the torchlight on the mirror, and it is getting reflected, and the third boy here, okay, is placed here so that the reflection can be seen by this boy, all right, through the mirror. So this is due to the reflection of light, okay, sunlight by the mirror. Now what happens when a light falls on an object? So see, number one, the object may allow the light to pass through it. Number two, the object may completely cut off the light, okay, passing through it by observing it. Number three, the object may scatter the light. And number four, the object may reflect the light. So these four things may happen when a ray of light is falling on the falling on an object. Okay, so let's see here you will see that, suppose, okay, here you have a book. Here you have a book. This is a book which I placed on a vertical position. Okay, so here I have a book and a ray of light is striking on it. So do you see the light can pass through this book? No, light cannot pass through this book because this book is opaque, means it does not allow the light to pass through it. So this is the first thing, isn't it? The first thing that we can see, whenever whenever a light falls on an object, it may cut off the light, so it does not allow the light to pass through it, isn't it? Second one is, if you have a mirror, or you can say window pane, okay, or khidki ko aina, okay, so this is our window pane. You can see that light can easily pass through it. Why? Because this material is transparent. What is it? Transparent, isn't it? Similarly, if you take a butter paper, okay, you can see that little light pass through it. Little light can pass through it. This kind of substances which allows little amount of light to pass through them is called translucent. What do you call it? Translucent. So these are the three types of materials which you usually find, isn't it? The material which does not allow the light to pass through it. Light लाई आफूबाट छिर्न नदिने objects or substances or materials लाई त के भन्छ? Opaque, isn't it? Similarly, the substances or materials or objects which allows light to pass through them, like glass, like water, isn't it? Air, they are called as transparent. Okay, transparent. Then the third one is translucent. Okay, translucent is it does not allow the a whole light to pass through it, but it allows at least a little bit of light to pass through it. They are called as translucent. Okay, now what are we trying to see here is we are trying to learn about reflection. So here suppose you have a polished surface, एकदमै polished टल्केको surface, or you can take mirror. Okay, so here when I draw a straight line, this represents my mirror and the name of the mirror is M dash, and the dots these dots are that I've drawn here. This is silvered. What is it? Silvered. If you see at the back of the mirror, you can see that it's painted, isn't it? So that painting part is this one. So if this is the side where the painting is there, means reflection will take place from here. So when a ray of light is strike on this surface, after striking this surface here, it bounces back. What has happened? Bounces. Okay. All right. Similarly, you can take one example. If you drop a ball, football, from a height to a ground, what happens? After striking the ground, the ball again, what happens? Bounces back. उफ्रिन्छ the ball, हैन? त्यसरी नै light पनि के हुन्छ? Bounce back हुन्छ whenever it strikes on a plain surface which is highly polished or a mirror. So this phenomenon, okay, where you can see that the light bounces back to the same medium from which it is coming, is called reflection. So this is what I'm trying to explain you to understand what do we mean by reflection. So you can see here, if a light traveling in one medium is sent back to the same medium, please underline this, after striking a second medium, it is said to be reflected. The phenomenon of bouncing back of light, this would be the definition, okay, from here. The phenomenon of bouncing back of light in the same medium after striking a surface is called reflection of light. Okay, and the reflection of an object in a mirror forms an image. त्यो reflection ले चाहिँ के बनिन्छ? Image बनिन्छ, नक्सा बनिन्छ. Okay, image means नक्सा, isn't it? So whenever you are looking on your mirror, के हुन्छ? तिम्रो आफ्नो image देख्छ नि त mirror मा, isn't it? So that image is formed. Why? Because of this phenomenon called as reflection. So I hope now you understood what is reflection, isn't it? Reflection is the phenomenon of bouncing back of light in the same medium after striking a surface. Okay, that is what we call reflection of light. ठोकेर चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ मिडियमबाट आउँदै थियो त्यो मिडियममा के हुन्छ पछाडी फर्किन्छ. All right, that is what we call reflection. Okay, so there are certain terms which are related with reflection, and these are the terms here: incident ray, normal, reflected ray, reflecting surface. Here you can see O, here you can see I. You can refer your book, okay, and here you can see R. Are you getting my point? So figure number 4.2 is an important figure which is helping you to know about the different terms which are associated with reflection. All right, so now let's go to the second page, that is page number 62 of the chapter. Here it says some terms which are related with the reflection. All right, so here you can see this is my incident ray, isn't it? Incident ray, do you see here? Incident ray. So similarly here, the first topic that we have here is incident ray, the one which is written in bold letter here. Then is reflected ray, then is point of incidence, then you have normal, then you have angle of incidence, then you have angle of reflection. So angle of incidence is denoted by small letter I here. Okay, angle of reflection is denoted by small letter R. So please put circles on them, star them, so that you do not forget when you do the revision. All right, did you get me? So now we will learn one by one what are they. Okay, number one is a ray of light which strikes the reflecting surface is called incident ray. Please underline this. Okay, in the figure number 4.2, refer your figure, AO is the incident ray. Okay, number two, the ray of light which returns back in the same medium after reflection from the reflecting surface is called reflected ray. Please underline. Okay, in the figure 4.2, OB is the reflected ray. Is that understood? Incident ray, reflected ray. They, okay, how to know them? See, incident ray चाहिँ reflecting surface पट्टि जाँदै गरेको हुन्छ, reflected ray चाहिँ के हुन्छ, back, return back हुँदै गरेको हुन्छ. Okay, from where? From the reflecting surface. In that way you can remember. All right, Number 3 is point of incidence. A point so it should be a dot, a point, isn't it? So the point on the reflecting surface. So where is this point? It is on the reflecting surface, okay, at which the incident ray strikes. So incident ray le, okay, reflecting surface ma jaha strike garcha त्यो point लाई we call it as point of incidence. So in the figure, O is the point of incidence. Okay. Number 4, normal. Now what is normal? It is the line which is drawn perpendicular. Now what do you mean by perpendicular? Perpendicular means 90 degree to the reflecting surface. Okay, to the reflecting surface at the point of incidence is called normal. Okay. Number 5th term is the angle formed between the normal and the incident ray. अब यहाँ के बनिँदैछ? Angle between whom? See, angle भन्ने बित्तिकै जहिले पनि angle is formed by two lines, isn't it? Two lines, दुईटा धर्काले चाहिँ angle form हुन्छ नि त, isn't it? So what are those two lines here? One is the normal, other one is the incident ray. So normal र incident ray ले बन्नेको angle लाई चाहिँ we call it as angle of incidence, denoted by I. Similarly, you have angle of reflection. Angle formed between the normal. Yam normal cha, yam normal cha. Don't get confused. Here you have normal along with incident ray. Incident ray sanga bhakole garda we call it as angle of incidence. Alright. Whereas in the 6th here, you can see this is the angle formed between the normal and the reflected ray, and that is why we call it as angle of what? Reflection, denoted by R. What do you call it? Angle of reflection. Okay, so these are the 6 terms which are related with reflection. Is that okay? So now I will explain this with the help of figure here. All right. So now I will draw a reflecting surface. Let this be my reflecting surface. Okay, and the name of this surface be M dash. All right. Now, first one is incident ray. This incident ray is pointing towards the reflecting surface, so I have to put the arrowhead like this. Your arrowhead, let's say your ray kata jandesa, light ray, that will be indicated. All right. So here, this ray, okay, is incident here at this point. This point is denoted by O, which is called as point of incidence. What do we call it at? Call it as point of incidence. Okay, and this ray AO, okay, AO is called as incident ray, the ray which is incident on the reflecting surface. All right. Now after striking here at point O, it gets reflected back, bouncing back. यो back जाँदैछ, so the arrowhead should be in this direction. उता जाँदैछ. Okay, and if this is B, my OB will be my reflected ray. What do you call it? Reflected ray. Understand? Now let's come to the third one, that is normal. Normal, so this is my point of incidence here, isn't it? Right? So let me change the color for your convenience. Okay, so I think my color black is fine. No, so here this is my O, which is called as point of incidence. Your point of incidence, but if I draw a normal, and normal is denoted by these dotted lines, okay, and N here, so NO is my normal. What is it? Normal. So what is normal? Normal is a line, actually, line which is perpendicular 90 degree to the reflecting surface. Reflecting surface सँग चाहिँ के बनिन्छ? 90 degree बनिन्छ. त्यो line लाई we call it as normal. Okay, is that understood? So here you can see that this normal and this ray, which is incident ray, is forming an angle here. This angle is denoted by I, which is called as angle of incidence. All right, and here another or one more angle is formed here, which is between the normal and the reflected ray. Okay, this angle is called angle of reflection, denoted by R. All right, so these are the 6 things that you must remember. Okay, number 1 is the reflecting surface, number 2 is the incident ray, then the reflected ray, normal, angle of incidence, angle of reflection, and the point of incidence. So these are the 6 things that or the 6 terms which are related with reflection. All right, so figure number 4.2, the one which you have on the book on the first page of the chapter, figure number 4.2 is your classwork now. Okay, after you finish watching this video, okay, you will draw, okay, and try to understand which is an incident ray, which one is the reflected ray, which one is the normal, where is our angle of incidence, where is our point of incidence, and where lies our angle of reflection. So that is your classwork after you complete this video. Okay, you will do that in your exercise copy. All right, okay, now let's come back again to the book, and the next topic that we are going to discuss is types of reflection. Types of reflection. Reflection te kati prakarko cha. Okay, so there are two types of reflection. Please underline this and circle this: regular reflection and irregular reflection. So how many types are there? Two types: regular and irregular. So first one is regular reflection. Please underline here: when a parallel beam of light is incident on a plane and a highly polished surface like mirror, the reflected beam will also be parallel, and hence all the light falling on the surface is reflected in a definite direction. Such a reflection is called regular reflection. So here figure number 4.2, you can see that the incident ray, they are also parallel, and the reflected ray is also parallel. So if you see that the reflected rays, okay, and the incident rays, both of them are parallel, त्यति बेला भएको reflection we call it as regular reflection. And regular reflection takes place from what surfaces? Those surfaces which are highly polished. Okay, एकदमै टल्केको surface like mirror. So mirror gives us regular reflection. Is it okay? Is it understood? If you have any doubts, you can always ask me. Okay, you can text me in the class group. Okay, now the second type of reflection is irregular reflection. When a parallel beam of light is incident on a rough or irregular surface such as wall or a piece of wood, the rays get reflected in all directions and the reflected light is spread over a wide area. Such a reflection is called irregular reflection or diffuse reflection. So please underline this. Okay, is that understood? So here you can see that incident rays are parallel. सँगै छ, एकअर्कामा सँगै बराबरी यसरी जाँदैछ हैन. But after it is reflected, what happens? It is reflected in all directions. छरपष्टै भएर के हुन्छ? बाडिन्छ. Such kind of reflection is called irregular reflection, and the other name for irregular reflection is diffuse reflection. Is that okay? And among them, यो दुईटा regular reflection र irregular reflection मा compare गर्नु भने चाहिँ which reflection is helping us to see the things around us. हामी वरिपरि देख्छ हैन. You can see your books, your home, your rooms, your walls. There are so many things in your room. You are able to see the video here. Why? Because of this irregular reflection or diffuse reflection. So the last sentence here, very important sentence here, it is the type of, okay, this type of reflection, that is irregular reflection, that enables us to see the various objects around us. So put a star, double star here, because of irregular reflection, or you can say diffuse reflection, we are actually able to see the things around us. कुन चाहिँ reflection ले गर्दा रहेछ? Irregular reflections. Okay, so how many types of reflections are there now? You know there are two types of reflection. They are regular reflection and irregular reflection. And among them, irregular reflection is responsible for the vision that we are able to have. Right? So हामीले वरिपरि चाहिँ के कारणले हेर्न सक्दो रहेछ? Because of the diffused reflection. Okay, understood? Now here you have a small box which shows enrichment. Apart from the topics that we have discussed here, you have some more to learn here, that is about the mirror. Now what is mirror? When a light falls on an opaque body, it leads to the formation of a shadow of the opaque body on the opposite side of the source of the light. Isn't it? You know? Isn't it? Shadow भनेको त छाया बनिन्छ. Also, whenever a light strikes on an object, it spreads out in all directions and makes it visible to us. However, when a light falls on a polished or a shining surface, it spreads in a well-defined direction. This gives rise to an image formation. So a polished or a shining surface is called mirror. So mirror चाहिँ के रहेछ? This is the answer for mirror. A polished or a shining surface is called mirror. Is that okay? So now we saw what is mirror, different terms which are related with reflection, and we also learned about types of reflection, isn't it? So we covered what is reflection, isn't it? Then we learned what is type of reflection. Now we will see laws of reflection. So there are two laws of reflection. Okay, so here you can see two laws of reflection are as follows. Number one, incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal at a point of incidence all lie in same plane. Let's see here. Suppose this is my reflecting surface. This is my incident ray and this is my point of incidence. Here it says point of incidence, isn't it? And this is my normal. They all lie in the same plane and this is my reflected ray. At एउटै जग्गामा बाट सुरु हुन्छ. Okay, and it also lies on the same plane. Same plane भनेको this is not like this. Okay, this is my reflecting surface. For example, my ray incident ray is incident here and reflected ray is coming from here. No, this is not the thing that actually happens. Okay, point of incidence is here. Your point बाट के पनि निस्किन्छ, angle of reflection reflected ray निस्किन्छ. Okay, now this was one phenomenon. Other one is, this is my reflecting surface, this is my incident ray, it is pointing here, so this is my point of incidence. A point of incidence यहाँ छ, but my reflected ray is coming from here. यहाँ तलबाट झर्दैछ, निस्किँदैछ. Is that possible? No, this is also not possible. So the first law says that my incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal, they all lie at the point of incidence. सबै कहाँबाट सुरु हुन्छ? Point of incidence बाट, अनि at the same plane. Same plane भनेको चाहिँ माथिबाट पनि निस्किँदैन, तलबाट पनि निस्किँदैन. त्यही point बाट निस्किन्छ, and that point is called point of incidence. Are you getting my point? So this is our first law. All right. Now the second law is says the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. That is, angle I equals to angle R. Are you getting my point? So the third law, okay, what does it say is, see here I've shown you this is my angle of incidence and angle of reflection. So when a ray of light is struck here on a surface, okay, this is my normal, this is my reflected ray, your angle, that is angle of incidence, and this angle which is angle of reflection, they are always equal. They are always equal. This is what our second law here, the second law which we have here tells us. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So it means that if angle of incidence is 30 degree, my angle of reflection will also be 30 degree. If my angle of incidence is 40 degree, my angle of reflection will also be 40 degree. Are you getting my point? So these are the two laws which are related or associated with reflection. Okay, and one important sentence is here: the laws of reflection are applicable to all the surfaces, whether polished or rough. So please remember, surface rough होस् कि polished होस्, laws of reflection are always applicable. Whatever may be the nature of the surface rough होस्, okay, or एकदमै चिल्लो, plain, smooth होस्, जेसुकै होस्, whatever may be the surface, the laws of reflection is always applicable. Okay, so these are the two laws of reflection. All right, now let's go to here scientist zone here. Okay, Justus von Liebig, he was the first person who invented the mirrors, plane mirrors. The घरमा हाम्रो ऐना छ नि, बिहान ब्रस गर्दादेखि लिएर ऐना, मुख धुँदादेखि लिएर while you are combing your hair, while you are dressing up, you always see mirrors, isn't it? So that plane mirror was actually first invented 200 years ago in Germany by this scientist called, here you have the picture, Justus von Liebig. Okay, clear? So he was the first person. Okay, is it understood? So that's all for today. Okay, now the video is over, video lesson is over. Now we can draw that figure number 4.2. okay, after you finish the figure number 4.2, okay, you will get some notes as usual, which will copy in the exercise copy meant for physics, okay, and learn it. All right, so that's all for today. Have a good day.